Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Danielle, and in today's video we're talking about 3 practical ways to practice self-care. So in this video we're going to take a deep dive into some strategic ways that you can practice self-care. We're going to really dive into some things that you can put into place for yourself on a daily basis to help you improve your mental clarity, help you find your purpose, things like that. My mission is to make lifestyle content for women who want to be their best selves. So before we get into it, if you're interested in videos about self-love, self-care, or self-improvement, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel because this might be your vibe. Just saying. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So the very first thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to self-care is just redefining the term in general, because I feel like people tend to associate self-care with cosmetic things like bubble baths and water. And though those things do fall into the realm of self-care, I feel like there are other things that are more important to focus on. And those are the things that I want to touch on today. I feel like most of you guys are either mothers or career women or both. And these are things that will help you on a day-to-day basis just to keep your sanity, sis. I'm telling you, as a mother of 4, I understand better than most how hard it is to just hold on to yourself when you have so many people to cater to. So the first thing I want to touch on is stressors. So we really want to pay attention to the things that are stressing us out and then correcting that. So for me, as a wife and a mother, it is typically my kids. They're number 1 on that list for sure. They're always calling me, always in my space, always need something. It's just nonstop. So they're definitely number 1 on my list of stressors. Number 2 is homeschooling. I was homeschooling even before all this stuff happened, and I know that a lot of you are now having to homeschool as well, and it's definitely stressful. It's stressful not only to have their educational lives in your hands and for you to be fully responsible for everything that has to do with their education, but the fact that they're just home all the time and you don't get any time to yourself. All stressful. Number 3 on my list of stressors is chores and just the constant cleaning, especially since I have a toddler who is into everything. Definitely nonstop cleaning, chores, just housework, dishes, laundry. It doesn't stop. Number 4 is cooking. Like I said, when you're home all day, you have to cook pretty much 3 meals a day unless you're meal prepping. Definitely stressful to have food on the table and also to create nutritious, healthy meals for your kids and for your family. And then number 5 on my list of stressors is just the pressure of being a good parent, the pressure of being a good wife, the pressure of just being a good person in general, and trying to balance everything, trying to be a good employee if you have a career, trying to maintain your own identity as a person. Sometimes it just feels like it's closing in on you from every angle. So I definitely understand and I definitely feel it, and I know that you do too. So that is number 5 on my list of stressors.
I realize that money can also be a stressor for some of you, and if that's the case, check out these videos.
So after you've identified your stressors, now we can come up with some counter activities to kind of counter how you're feeling and what your stressors are. Some of the things that I do to counter my stressors are I've started to take an hour of time to myself. So I'll go out in the car for an hour, just read a book, watch some YouTube videos, catch up on a show, anything, just to get out of the house for just an hour. And it just helps me to, come back to myself and be a better parent, because it just takes some of that stress away, even for a little while. So definitely recommend just taking a little bit of time to yourself. And I do understand that some of you are single and may not be able to do that, but if you have older kids, maybe you can, or maybe you can lock yourself in your room for a little while. Maybe just any little bit of time that you can steal away from your kids is, in my opinion, an investment in your mental health, and definitely falls into the realm of self-care. The next thing I do is just say F it. Like, if there are chores to do and I just don't feel like doing it, if I'm feeling just confined in my space, if I'm just not feeling it, I just say F it, leave it where it is, and I'll come back to it later. And if the world doesn't stop, the house doesn't fall down, like everything is the same when I come back, yeah, sometimes you just gotta say F it. It'll get done when it gets done. Another thing that you can do to counter your stressor, specifically the cooking stressor, is to meal prep or order out sometimes. I know I talk a lot about budgeting, and definitely make sure that it's in your budget to do that, but meal prepping is always gonna be a good way to kind of counterbalance the amount of cooking that you have to do. So if you can take a day and just do a little bit more cooking on that day, and then give yourself a couple days where you don't have to cook, definitely worth it to me. And it's definitely going to help to relieve some of the pressure that you feel to cook 3 meals a day. The next thing that I want to say is to lower your expectations of yourself, or give yourself some grace when you don't reach all of your daily goals or all of your monthly goals or yearly goals. Like, it just doesn't always work out that way, especially when you have kids, especially when you have a family, especially when you can't just always focus on yourself. Things happen and life happens. It's just what it is. Of course, you should still set goals. Of course, you should still be trying to attain your goals, but sometimes it just doesn't work out, and you shouldn't beat yourself up. Definitely give yourself some grace and be kind to yourself, and just understand that, yeah, this is my goal and it's still my goal. I'm not letting go of it, but I just haven't reached it yet, so maybe I need to extend the deadline for this goal. So another thing that I do is to wake up early. So this kind of falls into the realm of taking that hour to yourself. You can wake up a little bit earlier and give yourself a power hour where you just have time specifically to yourself. Wake up before everybody else does. Get the things that you want to get done, write out your goals, do your budgeting, do a little bit of cleaning, have some tea, have some water, whatever it is that makes you feel good about yourself, whatever it is that you like to do. Take that time in the morning just to wake up a little bit earlier than everybody else and give yourself some time to just decompress before you have to deal with everything that the day is going to throw at you. And the last thing on my list of counter activities is to find some pockets of peace. And that just means to take a minute to yourself. It doesn't even have to be a full hour, but maybe it's just like 5 minutes. Just finding little gaps of space in your day where you can do something that just makes you happy or brings you joy. It could be a face mask or painting your nails or something like that, but it could also be wiping down your counters or cleaning your windows or just laying down for a minute or meditating. Whatever makes you feel good, whatever brings you joy, that's the thing that you need to do. And just find little pockets in your day where you can do those things. So the second practical way for you to practice self-care is to find some energy boosting activities. So this is going to be things like working out, eating a healthy snack, taking a walk, watching or listening to something motivational. I can drop some channels below that I like to listen to. I really like Anthony O'Neill. I think he's great. I definitely drop some channels below that you guys can check out just specifically for motivation. It's really important to give yourself that boost throughout the day, just to let you know that you're not alone, that you're doing great. And then it also just like gives you more energy to do more. It's kind of like recharging your battery a little bit. The next thing is looking at something pretty. And this is, I feel like, really underrated, but it always kind of makes me feel better. So if you have a magazine, or if you can go online, look at some websites, or just look at pictures of flowers or buildings or sunsets or oceans or some material thing that you really like maybe you like to look at photography of different products or whatever it is that you think is pretty. Take a few minutes to look at it, and it's again one of those things that just will bring you joy and give you a little bit of a boost to finish out the day. The next thing is to get some me time, and we talked about this before when I said to take an hour to yourself throughout the day, or find a pocket of peace. This kind of falls into that same realm. Just take a minute to yourself. Even if you have to lock yourself in the bathroom, just take some me time. Focus on yourself for a minute, breathe, calm down, decompress just a little bit before you go out and try to conquer everything that's happening around you. Because I know it seems like the world is ending in my house sometimes. Like, the kids are screaming, they're constantly calling my name. It's just chaos on a daily basis, and you just need to find some peace for a second. And at this point, I just don't even care how it comes. Like, I'm gonna take it however I can take it, and I'm gonna get it how I can get it. It just has to happen, because otherwise I'll be tapped out. And I can't be the best mother, can't be the best employee, I can't be the best anything if I can't be my best self. So the next one is to spend some time with friends. This always helps me. This is always one of my favorite things to do, just to get out and go hang out with my friends, or even if you can't get out, just to call them on the phone and talk to them for a little while, have some adult conversation, some stimulating conversation. And it just, to me, that is definitely an energy boosting activity and an investment into myself. Next thing you can do is to meditate or to stretch. Of course, yoga is an option for this, but if you don't like yoga, you can definitely just do your own version or rendition of stretching, or do a stretching exercise that's not yoga, and that will lengthen your limbs and lengthen your muscles and help loosen you up a little bit, and just help you feel a little bit better, not only about yourself, but in general, help your body feel better. Definitely recommend stretching and or meditating, because we all know meditating is great for mental clarity. It's just going to help you to clear your mind. It helps you to just focus on nothing and just to be in your own body for a minute and not in the outside world. And the last thing is to read a book or an article about something inspiring. Read about someone that you look up to. Read about someone that's done something great. Read about something that's going to fire you up and help you feel like you can take on the world and do the things that are important. So now we've made it to the third practical way that you can practice self-care, and this one is all about self-discovery. So this is all about trying new things, exploring new passions, and reverse engineering the things that you don't like to figure out what you do. So turn your TV off and turn on your creativity. Figure out what you're passionate about. Figure out how you can turn it into a hobby. Figure out how you can make money doing it. Figure out what's going to make you happiest and what you are aspiring to, and how you can bring that into your life in a practical way on a daily basis or a weekly basis, even a monthly basis, to try and reach a certain goal or to help you feel like you are living up to your full potential. So find a passion project, even if it's just a hobby. I know that most of us have a career, have kids, have a husband, and for some people that's enough. For some people that is their passion and that fulfills them, but if that doesn't, and in my case it definitely doesn't, so I feel like it's my job in life to find things that fulfill me, not as a mother, not as a wife, not as an employee, but as a human being. It's my job to find things that fulfill me as a person, that make me feel whole. It's very important to find the things that are the most fulfilling to you and to tackle those things so that you feel like you're actually living. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to drop a like below and also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss future uploads, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.